The One Day Doc competition has been an integral part of the AOD experience since we introduced it a couple years back. It is the chance to shoot a documentary film in just a 24-hour period and then edit it over a few weeks after that. Now, this might seem fairly challenging, but rest assured, we've seen hundreds of people complete this task, and for many of them, it was their first documentary film they've ever done. The One Day Doc competition has been really important for them, pushing them over that line to actually get a film made and finished. It's kind of like going to the gym and getting your reps in. The One Day Doc competition will help you improve your filmmaking no matter where you are in your filmmaking journey. So what I want to do in this video is I want to go over a couple of the quick rules so you know how to enter and what you can and can't do with the film. And then I'm going to give you some tips so you can make the best One Day Doc possible. The first rule is you must be the director. This is only open to AOD members. And so the director must be an AOD filmmaker. You must be part of one of our courses. Doesn't matter which one you're in, if you're in Create and Earn, Module 1, doesn't matter as long as you signed up for an AOD course. You cannot co-direct this with someone outside of AOD. Now, we have seen it where two AOD filmmakers will co-direct a film. If you feel that this is going to help you make the best film possible, go right ahead. But I would encourage you to shoot it on your own and direct it on your own. This is the best chance for you to learn those skills. This is about you improving yourself as a filmmaker, but it is also a great chance to learn how to collaborate more. Second rule is that you have to shoot all the footage in a 24-hour period. So that doesn't mean it has to be the same calendar day. You can start at 3 p.m. one day and shoot all through the night and go to 3 p.m. the next day. We've actually seen people do this. They plan out their whole shoot around that. But the idea is that you only shoot in that 24-hour block, with the exception of a pickup shoot. A pickup shoot is when you go back and you shoot one or two more things that you're missing in the edit. And so this is about a 2-hour shoot. That's what we say. You can do a pickup shoot, no more than 2 hours. We're not going to come after you and ask you to see the time logs of your footage, but in the spirit of the One Day Doc competition, your main shoot, everything, you try to get it done in 24 hours. And if you're missing like a quote, an establishing shot, one or two little things, you can go back for one more pickup day and achieve those. With the One Day Doc competition, you can use archival footage. This is footage from the past, but this can't be footage that you just shot 2 months ago. That's not archival. And again, that kind of goes against the idea of the One Day Doc competition. This isn't about you just using one more day to complete a film you've been working on for years. The idea is if you've shot a film about someone maybe talking about a health issue and you have some old iPhone footage or footage from them when they were a kid, you can get that archival footage. The idea is the archival footage is stuff that you haven't shot personally that your character has brought to you from their past life. So if it's photos or home video footage, or like I mentioned, some iPhone footage, or maybe it's something else that they had been working on, that would be considered archival. But we have had people who have been working on a film for a few years and then they say, well, this is archival, it's all footage from the past. That's not the idea, and we will likely disqualify you if you do that. The idea is that you've come up to a fresh new story, and sometimes to tell that person's journey, you want to dip into their past and get some past footage. The next rule, you have to submit it by the end date. We will have a cutoff date. It changes for each One Day Doc competition. That'll be listed in the rules and on the website, but you have to submit your full film by then, by usually midnight of that day. Crew, who can you have on this? Well, like I said, you have to be the director and you have to be part of AOD, but then you can add anyone that you want. We don't restrict you to have people in the crew from AOD. It can be a friend or another person you've collaborated with, your editor, your DP, your sound person. They don't have to be part of Art of Documentary. I mean, we highly recommend working with people from the community because they've learned the same system of documentary as you, and we would expect them to be a great storyteller just like you, but don't feel restricted to have to only work with AOD members as part of your crew. The next 3 rules, this is kind of the legal side. We usually put out a playlist from a company like MusicBed that you can use to show your film, and we can screen that privately. But if you ever want your film to start to be seen publicly, you do need to license the music. You cannot use music that you don't have the rights to. Secondly, you need to have rights to the film. You need to be able to own the film. This can't be a collaboration with a production company and then you submit it to the One Day Doc competition without telling them. They need to sign off for you to be able to show this film. You need to make sure you're either the sole owner or that you have permission with the other people you've collaborated on to show this. Part of that permission is also getting release forms from your characters. This is really important. People who are in your film, you need to make sure you have a release form for them, or else we can't screen it in our film festivals, or we can't screen it on our YouTube channel. You need to have the rights for this because this will cause issues down the line. It's good practice for you to get used to putting a form in front of someone and saying, I need you to sign this to be in my film. Oh, that's hot. I forgot one thing. We have 2 categories that you can enter into as well. Enter into. If you're a first-time filmmaker, this means you've never released a documentary online that you've completed. Perhaps you've done some corporate videos or wedding videos or, even some commercials. But if this is your first documentary film, you'll want to enter into the first-time filmmaker category. It'll be in your submission sheet, so you don't have to worry about that. But you'll just click on that because we give a special award to a first-time filmmaker. We've had some amazing films come through this category in the past, like Airtime or Maya's Harvest. So if you're a first-time filmmaker and watching this, don't doubt the capabilities that you have waiting to be captured, edited, and displayed to our community and to the world. For everyone else, you'll be entered into the broader category. And what's great about this is we do lots of different prizes. We have both our audience award, we have our main winner, but then we also do our short list. And these are films that we believe in, that were the top films in the festival. Now, let's get to the tips. Let's get you making the best one day doc possible. First tip I want to give you is finish the film regardless. Even if you feel like it's terrible and you don't like the film, it's so important for you to go through the actions of shooting, editing, and exporting your film. This is a muscle memory for you as a filmmaker. Even if you don't like it, still submit it because we'll give you feedback. And if you're in module 2, Mike will be able to work through the film with you. This is really important for you to actually get the film done. Don't let the circumstances get in the way. Even if you hate the film in the end, get it done and move on and make a new film after that. Second point is pick a story that you have easy access to. Make sure this isn't just some film in way off foreign lands in Antarctica that will be really challenging for you to get there. I would recommend putting your energy into the story, not necessarily having to actually get access to that person. So meet someone that you know, someone in your town, something nearby where there's less hurdles for you actually getting your camera in front of them and recording. Third, pick someone who wants to be doing this. It's so much better when you have someone enthusiastic about the story who will bring an energy and will bring a passion to the project that will help you complete it. This is great too, because sometimes when you're filming a story that happens over a 24-hour period, you want to be working with people who are okay to be filmed a lot over that time. We've seen great films, the ones that have won, like Late Frost or Extension. These are films where their characters were really bought in and really love the idea of these films, and you can see it in the end of the film. It really shows. So pick a person who's excited about this. Your next rule, once you have that person lined up, do a pre-interview with them. Get on a call, get on a FaceTime before you ever go to film and ask them some questions about the story you want to tell. Make sure to hone in on one specific desire that they have. The idea of a one-day doc competition isn't necessarily to tell a whole person's life story. That will be really challenging. You want to keep the film nice and short. In that 4 to 7 minute range is really great. We've had people win our Emerging Filmmaker Award where they've done a film that was 2 minutes long. Longer is not better, and you'll be able to determine that by doing a pre-interview and really understanding what part of their life or what part of their story that you are trying to tell. Next tip, I would say location scout. Get out there and see the places before you go to film. This is a great way to help your day when you actually go to hit record. If you go to these locations ahead of time, you get your iPhone out and you begin looking at these places, and you, with your pre-interview, you've already asked the main character where locations that they like, what means a lot to them in your town or wherever you're filming them. Your location scout and your pre-production will help you be the most efficient on that actual day of shooting. So get out there and find some beautiful locations. This next tip would probably be the most important. The biggest issue we've seen with people's one-day docs in the past is what I call they fall into the visual podcast category. This is where they just shoot an interview and then some random B-roll, and the whole film becomes just someone talking about a past event. This is more so what a podcast would be, and it's less of a documentary. It's kind of the least engaging or least creative way to make a documentary. Think about if this was a movie, what you would see. What are the scenes? How do we shoot more than just the person sitting in a chair talking? What do do we actually get to see them do? And don't just settle with shooting them in one location. Get them moving around their house, their town, locations. Let's see them in a few different places. This is my next tip, is shoot scenes. Don't just shoot random B-roll. It's not enough just to have a person at sunset and shoot some 60 frames, slow motion, cool stuff. That's great and that will help your edit, but where else do we get to see them living as a person? Do we get to see them even just get in their car and drive somewhere and buy something? This could be a scene. This is them living life as a person. Avoid just the B-roll and interview approach. Think about them moving through their scenes, moving towards their desire. And if you want more information about this, get into Module 1, get into Module 2, and watch those videos about storytelling, about story structure, and it will help you begin to plan out your film. Next, avoid wall-to-wall music. A lot of one-day docs will pick one song, they'll place it on their timeline, and then they'll drop their quotes, and then they'll drop their B-roll, and they'll hit export. Problem with this is your film is just gonna have the same emotional tone as the song, and that's usually gonna be the same tone throughout. It becomes a bit forgettable. It's like hearing the same thing over and over again. Choose moments where there's no music, where we get to hear the sound of the environment, where we get to hear the location sound as part of that person's lived experience. It's important not just to hear music the entire time. And switch up the song. We give you a playlist, usually with a One Day Doc competition from MusicBed, so you get different songs that you can choose. Or if you have another music software that you use from one of their libraries, get different songs, use stems, pull it apart. Doesn't necessarily even need to have music. Late Frost, one of our favorite one day docs ever, only had a song come in at the end. The rest of the time, it was just the location sound, and this was very powerful. 2 more quick tips. 1, hide your mic. This is a documentary, and we want to be forgetting that we're watching an actual film unfold. We want to feel like we're in a new story world, that we're living alongside the person. And when you have this big chunky mic sticking out there, we suddenly are reminded that we're watching a film. Get into Module 1 and watch how you can hide a mic. This is so important to have it hidden, in my opinion. I really think it really helps the film. It's so just, I don't know, it takes you out of the story when you see this big black mic when someone's wearing a white t-shirt or it's clipped on somewhere. Hide your mic, get a shotgun mic, get the best sound possible. Do not compromise on good audio. And my last tip, this is from Michael Del Monte, it's get feedback for this. You don't necessarily have to wait until you submit the film to hear what people think about it. Show it to your friends and family. Show it to some other filmmaking colleagues that you have. Get some good feedback and ask for honest feedback and be specific. Don't just ask people, did you like it? That's not gonna be helpful. They're not gonna wanna hurt your feelings. They'll say, yeah, it was great. That's not helpful. Ask them specifically. Go, do you understand the story? Where did you get bored? Did you like the music? Is there anything that you would want to see me change? What scenes did you like? Get more specific feedback and it will help you understand what is working and what is not. There. That's a lot of tips. It's a lot of rules. But in the end, it's quite simple. Get out there, shoot a good documentary story, find a character who wants something, and make sure it all happens in 24 hours. You should go make sure to check out some of the one day docs over on our YouTube channel or ask around on the Facebook group if people have their one day docs that they want to share with you. That would be really cool for people to get to watch them. Thank you for watching this, and I cannot wait to review your film. And hopefully, if you get selected, you'll be at one of our film festivals or one of our online film festivals. There's great breakthrough on the other side of making one of these films for you. So get out there and get shooting.